Remember the chaotic Nantucket Airport in Wings? It made life at Nantucket Airport look funny, charming, and carefree. But off-screen, the cast's real life wasn't nearly so simple. They faced addiction battles, painful divorces, and heartbreaking losses transformed their lives in ways fans never imagined. Join us as we revisit the Wings cast then and now in 2026, because the truth is more shocking than most fans realize. Farah Forke as Alex Lambert. Alex Lambert, the confident and independent pilot who brought intelligence and strength to the Nantucket Airport, was portrayed by Farah Forke. Born January 12, 1968, in Corpus Christi, Texas, Forke was 24 years old when she joined Wings in 1992. Alex's sharp personality and ability to stand her ground made her one of the show's most memorable female characters. Her performance quickly earned her a loyal following among viewers. Farah Forke passed away on February 25, 2022, at the age of 54 after a long battle with cancer. Today, she still became known for appearing in the acclaimed crime drama Heat and for voicing Big Barda in Justice League Unlimited. Although her Hollywood career showed tremendous promise, her priorities gradually shifted toward family life. As the pressures of the entertainment industry grew, Forke made the difficult decision to step away from Hollywood while raising her twin sons, Chuck and Whit. Leaving behind the spotlight at the height of her visibility was not an easy choice, but she believed her children deserved a more stable and private upbringing than Los Angeles could provide. Her greatest challenge arrived when she was diagnosed with cancer. Determined to keep her struggle private, Forke spent her final years quietly fighting the disease away from public attention. When she passed away in Texas in 2022, she left behind not only her sons, but also the memory of a talented actress whose strength off-screen proved every bit as remarkable as the characters she played. Tim Daly as Joe Hackett. Joe Hackett, the responsible and level-headed owner of Sandpiper Air who held the family business together, was portrayed by Tim Daly. Born March 1, 1956 in New York City, Daly was 34 years old when Wings premiered in 1990. As the dependable older brother, Joe often served as the voice of reason amid the chaos surrounding the airport staff. His natural charm and grounded performance made Joe one of the show's most beloved characters and helped establish him as a familiar face in American television. As of 2026, Tim Daly is 70 years old and remains active in both entertainment and public advocacy. Beyond Wings, he earned widespread recognition for starring in Madam Secretary and for voicing Clark Kent in Superman, the animated series. He also continues his leadership work with the Creative Coalition, an organization dedicated to supporting the arts and creative communities. Behind the success, however, Daly experienced several painful personal setbacks. His marriage to actress Amy Van Nostrand, which lasted nearly 3 decades, ended in divorce in 2010 after years of balancing family life with demanding careers. Later, his highly publicized relationship with actress Téa Leoni lasted almost 10 years before the couple quietly separated in 2024, bringing another important chapter of his personal life to a close. Physical challenges tested him as well. In 2000, he narrowly avoided disaster after making an emergency landing when a plane engine failed mid-flight. Nearly 2 decades later, a devastating skiing accident left him with both legs broken, requiring multiple surgeries and a lengthy recovery. Yet through it all, Daly continued moving forward. His resilience and dedication to the arts have helped make him one of television's most respected veteran actors. David Schramm as Roy Biggins. Roy Biggins, the loud, selfish, and endlessly entertaining owner of rival airline Aero Mass, was portrayed by David Schramm. Born August 14, 1946 in Louisville, Kentucky, Schramm was 44 years old when Wings debuted in 1990. Roy's constant scheming, greed, and over-the-top confidence made him one of the sitcom's most reliable sources of comedy. His brilliant comedic timing transformed Roy into one of the show's funniest recurring characters and a fan favorite throughout the series. David Schramm passed away on March 28, 2020, at the age of 73. Despite of his death, he was still highly respected in the theater world for his performances in productions such as Waiting for Godot and 12 Angry Men. After Wings ended, he largely stepped away from television and returned to his first love, the stage. His later years, however, were marked by increasing hardship. Beginning around 2015, Schramm experienced serious vocal problems that threatened the very tool on which his acting career depended. As his health worsened, chronic heart disease, breathing difficulties, and recurring dizziness gradually limited his ability to perform. Living alone without a spouse or children, he faced many of these challenges largely on his own. Despite those struggles, Schramm remained deeply respected within the theater community. Alongside Wings, his acclaimed work in Broadway productions and projects such as The Dreamer of Oz showcased his remarkable range as a performer. His death in 2020 brought an end to a distinguished career, but his unforgettable portrayal of Roy Biggins continues to make audiences laugh decades later. Steven Weber as Brian Hackett. Brian Hackett, the charming, impulsive, younger Hackett brother who often found himself chasing romance and adventure, was portrayed by Steven Weber. Born March 4, 1961, in Queens, New York, Weber was 29 years old when Wings premiered in 1990. Known for his quick wit and carefree attitude, Brian frequently created the kind of chaos that his older brother Joe was forced to clean up. His charisma and comedic timing helped make Brian one of the most recognizable characters on the series. As of 2026, Steven Weber is 65 years old and continues to enjoy a successful acting career. Beyond Wings, he earned acclaim for starring in the television adaptation of The Shining and has found a new generation of fans through his role as Dr. Dean Archer on Chicago Med. Decades after Wings ended, he remains a familiar face on television. Behind the humor, however, Weber endured significant personal struggles. His first marriage to actress Finn Carter ended in divorce in 1991, shortly after Wings began its successful run. His second marriage to journalist Juliette Honan, with whom he shares 2 sons, also collapsed after years of difficulties and ended in a painful divorce in 2013. The emotional toll of those experiences contributed to a serious battle with alcoholism and anxiety during the 2000s. For years, drinking affected both his personal life and professional relationships. Fortunately, Weber eventually sought help and achieved sobriety. Today, he lives a quieter life, remains committed to his recovery, and continues working steadily while serving as an example of resilience and personal growth. Crystal Bernard as Helen Chapel Hackett. Helen Chapel, the witty lunch counter owner whose long-running romance with Joe Hackett became one of Wings' central storylines, was portrayed by Crystal Bernard. Born September 30, 1961, in Garland, Texas, Bernard was 29 years old when Wings premiered in 1990. Helen's sharp humor, independence, and determination often made her the emotional heart of the series. As of 2026, Crystal Bernard is 64 years old and has lived an extremely private life for many years. Beyond Wings, she also enjoyed success as a singer, most notably through her hit duet I Wanna Take Forever Tonight with Peter Cetera. Despite having the talent and popularity to pursue even bigger opportunities in Hollywood, she gradually stepped away from the spotlight. Much of that decision was influenced by her deeply religious upbringing and growing discomfort with the pressures of the entertainment industry. Over the years, she turned down several career opportunities and experienced a number of unsuccessful romantic relationships before ultimately choosing a life outside of Hollywood. In recent years, Bernard has endured the heartbreaking loss of a beloved sister, a tragedy that deeply affected her. Rather than returning to public life, she has devoted herself to family, faith, and charitable activities. While fans rarely see her today, her portrayal of Helen remains one of the most memorable performances in Wings history. Valerie Mahaffey as Sandy Cooper. Sandy Cooper, the eccentric and intensely obsessive woman whose affection for Joe often led to unforgettable comedic situations, was portrayed by Valerie Mahaffey. Born June 16, 1953, in Sumatra, Indonesia, Mahaffey was 42 years old when she appeared on Wings in 1995. Sandy's unpredictable behavior and relentless pursuit of Joe made her one of the show's most memorable guest characters. Her performance showcased the quirky comedic style that would define much of her career. According to the information provided, Valerie Mahaffey passed away on May 30, 2025, at the age of 72 after a lengthy battle with cancer. Throughout her career, she earned widespread acclaim for her work in television and won a Primetime Emmy Award for Northern exposure. She was also praised for her later performance in French Exit. Behind her successful career, Mahaffey reportedly faced difficult personal and emotional challenges. Balancing a demanding acting schedule with family responsibilities became increasingly painful, especially as her daughter faced serious struggles during adolescence. Her greatest battle began with a cancer diagnosis that gradually disrupted both her personal life and professional ambitions. The physical effects of treatment, combined with emotional and financial pressures, created years of hardship. Even so, she continued fighting with remarkable determination whenever her health allowed. Her legacy remains one of resilience, talent, and dedication to both her family and her craft. Rebecca Schull, as Faye Evelyn Cochran. Faye Evelyn Cochran, the warm-hearted ticket agent whose kindness and humor made her the emotional grandmother of the airport family, was portrayed by Rebecca Schull. Born February 22, 1929 in New York City, Schull was 61 years old when she joined Wings in 1990. Faye's gentle wisdom, optimism, and unwavering loyalty made her one of the most beloved characters on the series. As of 2026, Rebecca Schull is 97 years old and remains one of the last surviving stars of Wings. During her career, she became known for appearances in Analyze This and the hit legal drama Suits. Although she no longer works regularly, she occasionally attends Wings-related fan events when her health permits. Behind her cheerful screen persona was a life marked by devotion and sacrifice. During the height of her career, her husband Gene Schull suffered serious health problems that required constant care. She balanced long hours on set, with nights spent helping him through rehabilitation and daily medical challenges. When he passed away in 2008, the loss devastated her and led to a prolonged period of grief, exhaustion, and declining health. Even so, Schull continued moving forward. Later roles in projects such as Analyze This, United 93, and Suits required tremendous determination as she navigated the physical realities of aging. Today, while coping with the vision and hearing difficulties common at her age, she enjoys a peaceful life surrounded by family and remains remembered as one of television's most beloved character actresses. William Hickey, as Carlton Blanchard. Carlton Blanchard, the eccentric elderly airport visitor known for his gravelly voice and endless stories, was portrayed by William Hickey. Born September 19, 1927, in Brooklyn, New York, Hickey was 67 years old when he appeared on Wings in 1995. Carlton's peculiar habits, deadpan humor, and unforgettable voice made him a memorable guest character. William Hickey passed away on June 29, 1997, at the age of 69. He earned widespread acclaim and an Academy Award nomination for his performance in Preezy's honor. He was also beloved by audiences for roles in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and numerous stage productions throughout his distinguished career. Despite his professional success, Hickey lived a largely solitary life. He never married and spent much of his later years with longtime companion Lily Offen, while continuing to teach acting at HB Studio. Beneath his quirky public image, however, he carried the emotional scars of a difficult childhood and struggled for decades with alcoholism. Years of heavy smoking eventually caused severe emphysema and chronic respiratory problems. As his condition worsened, he became increasingly dependent on portable oxygen and was forced to turn down acting opportunities he desperately wanted to accept. Though illness limited his final years, Hickey continued teaching and mentoring young performers until shortly before his death. Today, he is remembered not only as a remarkable character actor, but also as a respected teacher whose influence reached far beyond the screen. Thomas Haden Church as Lowell Mather. Lowell Mather, the lovable but dim-witted airport mechanic whose quirky observations provided some of Wing's biggest laughs, was portrayed by Thomas Haden Church. Born June 17, 1960 in Woodland, California, Church was 30 years old when Wings premiered in 1990. Lowell's innocent personality, offbeat humor, and unpredictable behavior made him one of the sitcom's most unique and beloved characters. His scene-stealing performance helped turn Lowell into a fan favorite throughout the series. As of 2026, Thomas Haden Church is 65 years old and continues to enjoy a respected career in film and television. After leaving Wings, he achieved a major breakthrough with his Oscar-nominated performance in Sideways and later gained worldwide recognition as Sandman in Spider-Man 3 and its multiverse sequel appearance. His success allowed him to transition from sitcom star to acclaimed dramatic actor. Unlike many Hollywood celebrities, Church has chosen a remarkably private life. Although he shared a long-term relationship and has 2 children, he never officially married. Over the years, he gradually distanced himself from the entertainment industry's social circles and focused instead on building a quieter life away from the spotlight. Today, much of his time is spent managing his massive 2,000-acre cattle ranch in Texas. Church has repeatedly said he prefers ranch life to Hollywood fame. Alongside his achievements in Wings, Sideways, and Spider-Man, his decision to live life on his own terms has become one of the most distinctive chapters of his story. Tony Shalhoub as Antonio Scarpacci. Antonio Scarpacci, the hopelessly romantic taxi driver whose charm and persistence made him one of Wings' most lovable characters, was portrayed by Tony Shalhoub. Born October 9, 1953, in Green Bay, Wisconsin, Shalhoub was 38 years old when he joined Wings in 1992. Antonio's passionate personality, endless optimism, and often hilarious search for love made him a standout fan favorite. His unforgettable performance helped transform the character into one of the defining figures of the series. As of 2026, Tony Shalhoub is 72 years old and remains one of the most acclaimed actors to emerge from the Wings cast. Beyond the sitcom, he achieved extraordinary success through Monk and the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, earning multiple Emmy Awards and a Golden Globe. Today, he continues acting selectively while enjoying a respected place among television's most celebrated performers. Despite his success, Shalhoub faced difficult personal challenges. After marrying actress Brooke Adams in 1992 and raising 2 adopted daughters together, the couple endured frightening health struggles when Brooke battled breast cancer. During that period, Shalhoub scaled back portions of his professional life in order to support his wife and family through treatment and recovery. Another major test arrived during the COVID-19 pandemic when both Shalhoub and Adams contracted severe cases of the virus. The illness left them physically exhausted and facing serious respiratory complications for weeks. Fortunately, they recovered, but the experience profoundly changed his outlook on life. Today, Shalhoub enjoys a quieter life in New York with his wife, choosing projects carefully while continuing to build upon a remarkable legacy that spans Wings, Monk, and the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Mitchell Ryan as Jonathan Clayton. Jonathan Clayton, Helen's intimidating and demanding father whose appearances added tension to the series, was portrayed by Mitchell Ryan. Born January 11, 1934, in Cincinnati, Ohio, Ryan was 61 years old when he appeared on Wings in 1995. Jonathan's stern personality and imposing presence made him one of the more memorable parental figures introduced during the show's later seasons. Mitchell Ryan passed away on March 4, 2022, at the age of 88. Long before Wings, he became widely known for playing the villain in Lethal Weapon and for his recurring role on Dharma and Greg. Over the course of his career, he built a reputation as one of Hollywood's most dependable character actors. Behind the scenes, however, Ryan spent decades battling alcoholism. His addiction severely damaged his first marriage and even cost him professional opportunities, including his dismissal from the Gothic soap opera Dark Shadows. Although he eventually achieved sobriety and found greater stability later in life, he openly admitted that the fear of relapse never completely disappeared. The long-term effects of heavy drinking and smoking eventually took a toll on his health. As heart problems worsened in his later years, Ryan became increasingly limited in the roles he could accept. Before his passing, he completed a memoir reflecting on both his successes and struggles. Today, he is remembered not only for memorable performances in Wings and Lethal Weapon, but also for his hard-fought journey toward recovery and redemption. Amy Yasbeck as Casey Chapel Davenport. Casey Chapel Davenport, Helen's sophisticated and often outspoken older sister, who brought glamour and sharp humor to the later seasons of Wings, was portrayed by Amy Yasbeck. Born September 12, 1962 in Cincinnati, Ohio, Yasbeck was 31 years old when she joined the series in 1994. Casey's confidence, wit, and complicated relationships frequently placed her at the center of the show's romantic storylines. Her lively performance helped make Casey one of the most memorable additions to the cast. As of 2026, Amy Yasbeck is 62 years old and lives a much quieter life than during her Hollywood peak. Before Wings, she gained widespread recognition through roles in Problem Child and The Mask. Although she still makes occasional public appearances, her focus today is largely centered on charitable work and advocacy rather than acting. The defining tragedy of Yasbeck's life came in 2003 when her husband, actor John Ritter, died suddenly from an undiagnosed aortic dissection. His death occurred on their daughter Stella's birthday and shocked Hollywood. The devastating loss left Yasbeck facing years of grief while simultaneously raising their daughter alone and fighting a lengthy legal battle against the medical providers involved in Ritter's misdiagnosis. Rather than allowing the tragedy to define her entirely, Yasbeck transformed her pain into purpose. She became deeply involved with the John Ritter Foundation, helping raise awareness about aortic disease and the importance of early diagnosis. Having never remarried, she devoted herself to her family, charitable work, and writing projects. Today, she lives peacefully in California and remains admired not only for her acting career, but also for the strength and resilience she displayed after one of Hollywood's most heartbreaking losses. Gilbert Gottfried as Lewis, an eccentric airline passenger whose bizarre behavior and shrill voice created some of the show's most memorable comedic moments, was portrayed by Gilbert Gottfried. Born February 28, 1955 in Brooklyn, New York, Gottfried was 39 years old when he appeared on Wings in 1994. Lewis's awkward mannerisms, unpredictable personality, and unmistakable voice made him an unforgettable part of the series despite his limited screen time. Gilbert Gottfried passed away on April 12, 2022, at the age of 67. Beyond Wings, he became internationally recognized as the voice of Iago in Disney's Aladdin and built a legendary career as a stand-up comedian, actor, and voice performer. His distinctive voice and fearless comedy style made him one of the most recognizable entertainers of his generation. Behind the laughter, however, Gottfried spent years quietly battling a serious illness. He suffered from myotonic dystrophy type 2, a rare genetic disorder that gradually weakened his muscles and damaged his heart. Determined not to burden his family or lose opportunities to provide for his wife Dara Kravitz and their 2 children, he kept his condition largely private while continuing to perform. Even as the disease progressed, Gottfried refused to slow down. He continued touring, recording voice work, and appearing before audiences despite increasing physical pain and exhaustion. Today, he is remembered not only for his unforgettable voice and comedy, but also for the courage and determination he displayed while quietly fighting a devastating disease behind the scenes. Jonathan Slavin as Cord. Clayton. Cord Clayton, a clumsy temporary mechanic hired to help around the airport, was portrayed by Jonathan Slavin. Born November 8, 1969, in Los Angeles, California, Slavin was 27 years old when he appeared on Wings in 1996. Cord's awkward mistakes and eager attitude provided several light-hearted moments during his brief time on the series. As of 2026, Jonathan Slavin is 57 years old and continues to work steadily in the entertainment industry. Now, he is known for appearances in popular series such as Better Off Ted and Dr. Ken, as well as the acclaimed film Love and Mercy. He has also become widely respected as one of the earlier openly gay actors working consistently in Hollywood television. Behind the scenes, however, Slavin faced challenges that were far less visible than his comedic performances. For many years, he struggled with severe social anxiety and clinical depression, conditions that were intensified by the pressures faced by LGBTQ+ performers during an era when acceptance within the industry was far less common. Those battles often affected both his personal confidence and professional opportunities. Fortunately, Slavin found stability through long-term therapy, a supportive personal life, and his enduring relationship with Mitch Flack, whom he married in 2016 after more than 2 decades together. Today, he enjoys a happy marriage, continues taking selective acting roles, and devotes much of his time to animal welfare causes and vegetarian advocacy. So, that's the cast of Wings then and now in 2026. Over the last 36 years, some found lasting happiness and success, while others faced heartbreaking losses, personal struggles, and life-changing challenges. Which Wings cast member surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more then and now updates.